Hey everyone. When I think forward and consider longer-term commercial real estate trends, I focus on demographics and the US population by age to frame my perspective. And looking at a 5-year horizon, demographics will drive some significant changes for US commercial real estate. Specifically, in this case, I'm focusing on the baby boom generation. There are currently about 67 million baby boomers born between 1946 and 1964. And over the next 5 years, the US population aged 65 and older will increase by about 7 million people. Now that will affect the US in numerous ways. First, this will drive the retirement of a significant portion of the workforce, including many of the most experienced, knowledgeable, and talented workers. And second, the aging baby boomers will increase the demand for medical services and thereby boost the need for additional medical office space. As people age, they need more medical services. People aged between 18 and 44 typically visit a physician 1.9 times a year. That increases to 3.7 visits per year for people between the ages of 45 and 64. And for people 65 and older, the number of physician visits increases to 7.1 per year. Just doing basic math, adding 7 million more people aged 65 and older over the next 5 years will generate about 23 million more doctor visits each year. And we're already seeing how the aging of the boomer generation is impacting the employment market. Over the past year, roughly 1/3 of the total jobs created in the United States have been in healthcare. But at the same time, we're seeing the construction of medical office space taper. About 8.4 million square feet of medical office space was added to the US last year, and the medical office vacancy rate ticked up to 9%. Now, I think a portion of that vacancy has been driven by obsolescence. But another headwind is the shortage of doctors and medical services personnel needed to meet the needs of the rapidly increasing elderly population. The shortage of medical staff has moderated the demand for medical office space despite the growing needs for medical services. That said, the influx of healthcare needs should ultimately drive medical office space demand, shrinking medical office vacancy rates and boosting rent growth. One of the other commercial property types that should experience a dramatic increase in demand driven by the aging baby boomers is seniors housing, and that includes independent living, assisted living, memory care facilities, and continuing care properties. The majority of the seniors housing occupants are 75 years and older, and the population aged 80 plus is expected to grow by 4.6% in 2026, by 6% in 2027, and then by about 4.4% in each of the next 3 years after that. And that population growth will drive a dramatic surge in the demand for seniors housing facilities. An estimated 600,000 additional units will need to be constructed over the next 5 years to meet the needs of the aging population. Considering that in 2019, the peak of the last seniors housing construction cycle, only about 60,000 units were built, the magnitude of the seniors housing shortage becomes clear. Current seniors housing occupancy rates are back in alignment with pre-pandemic levels in the high 80% range, and rent growth in the sector is outpacing most other commercial property types. That said, like medical office, seniors housing faces a shortage of healthcare workers, and wage growth for the sector is outpacing most other types of employment. So while senior housing rent growth is strong, operating expenses have been rising rapidly as well. That suggests seasoned operators with a strong team of existing staff will be best positioned to capitalize on the exceptional growth the sector faces. Now, while the aging of the baby boom generation is directly impacting demand for medical office space and seniors housing, it will also indirectly impact all other types of commercial real estate. It's estimated that the baby boom generation holds over 50% of the wealth in the United States. And over the next 20 years, the nation will navigate the Great Wealth Transfer, where an estimated $84 trillion of wealth, including commercial real estate, will be transferred to younger generations. That process has already started, with many of the heir apparent children of the baby boom generation taking on leadership roles in the handling of commercial real estate assets. This transition and the aging of the baby boom generation could create tremendous commercial real estate investment opportunities, especially for investors who keep their eyes on the horizon.